Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and today I'm joined by Eric.
Escaped Julia. Is that my name?
No, no, you runaway, Julia.
Runaway Julia. I
Today we're
can't
back.
read and it's so tiny.
Today we're back with another edition of Don't Touch My Grapes, our continued Falcon Crest coverage. Today we're discussing what happened in episodes 17 to 20 of season 3. So I'll roll the credits and we'll get right into it. It was 17 to 20, right? I watched 3 episodes.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. First one's power play, right?
Yeah. So, I just gotta talk about Lance. He's such a dick. So I I don't understand why. I do understand because it's a power play, so to speak. Um, because Cole and Linda
Yeah,
want to try and get custody of Joseph. So like
yes.
Lance like wanders into this store where Cole is like trying on suits or whatever or nice
To
clothes,
provoke them.
and he
Yeah.
like gets in Cole's face, and Cole like knocks him out. And like at first I didn't realize what was happening because I'm just like, why does Lance do this? He never wins.
Right.
Even though he has all this like karate training, thanks to Chow Lee, he
He
never wins.
wanted, yeah, he wanted to get his ass beat by Cole,
Yeah, I got
and he
that
just
later,
wanted,
but at first I was just like,
right.
why? Like you always lose.
Yeah, it was just like so there's witnesses and he
Yeah.
did it for show.
But he
He's
also
a
like
dick.
made it a point to say to the store owner that he's been shopping there for years, and if he'd like to continue to keep his business, he'd speak on his behalf or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but then Lance has Chow Lee basically beat the shit out of him.
Charlie. That's how you have to say Charlie.
and and like in a totally unnecessary way. Like he's just there shirtless. I mean, thank you for being shirtless, but like he could have just
Right.
beat the shit out of you in your regular clothes.
Right. That was really weird. He's like he was gonna fight him, but he just lets him kick his ass, which was weird. He's just like,
Again, thank
like
you,
the I'm like I don't
Lorenzo Lamas,
get
for
it.
being shirtless for us, but that's
And
probably
it
why.
almost didn't work too. Like they in court, like that was kind of funny because like they were like, yeah, why wouldn't you defend yourself? Like even the judge like questioned it, and then he like made up some bullshit. But
He's like,
I was
I was
like,
gonna do
man,
what was in the best interests of my son.
right. And I was actually like, oh man, that'd be great if he like didn't get away with it and just got his ass kicked for no reason. But he did, of course.
And I love Melissa, but she's so frustrating sometimes.
It's funny. I was thinking the same exact thing because I'm like, she is her own worst enemy. Like she just doesn't make good decisions.
She flip flops all the time. It's like wherever the wind blows, and she thinks that's the right decision, and it's not.
And she really thought that she had a relationship with Richard. And I'm like, I really didn't think, I don't know. I just thought it was an understanding that they weren't serious, but
There
I
were
guess
there
she
were a
really did
few
like
things
him.
that came out in these episodes that I was like, "Oh, it really carried on this long." Like when
Yeah.
she says to, I think, well, that might be later at the party. Um, so we also find out that Jacqueline's relationship with Henry Denault made her a war criminal.
Yeah.
So now Maggie has decided that she doesn't want to write the article about her for the New Globe.
Hmm.
But Emma thinks it's a great article, and she like goes behind her back and prints it on the front page, which also gets Richard in trouble with the cartel.
And Richard gave her the power at the company to be able to do that.
Right.
But he didn't think she would ever do that. But oops, give a girl some power.
Also, I forgot that she was like kind of into Julia's therapist. So when she was like having dinner with him, I was like, who is this?
You
At
forgot
first I thought it
already.
was Michael, and I'm like, no. I'm like, she's over that, I think.
Yeah, that's why I feel like they could have played with that Michael relationship with her a little bit, but they don't. They just kind of squashed it. But it would have been nice
um,
to see them get together.
I've tried really hard to keep an open mind on Terry this time around. And while I have softened to her, she's still an asshole.
Speaking of Laura Johnson, who plays Terry, this episode's Power Play, and she's in 3 episodes of Dallas, and one of those episodes is Power Play, which is
Oh, she
kind
was
of
on
funny.
Dallas?
She's in it for 3 episodes, yeah.
What season?
Uh,
Before this or
three,
after?
maybe two, I think. I want to say before, I think 1980.
Okay. Who
Yeah, so she's a little, like, a little younger.
who's in three
She's,
episodes?
I'm totally forgetting his name, but he's Ty on Days of Our Lives, the one that just left.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's Alan Bean, Alan
Mm-hmm.
Bean's girlfriend
Okay.
in it. So JR actually drives her away in the 3rd episode,
I think I'm
which might,
visualizing her. I think I know. I think I remember her now.
yeah, but it's kind of funny that she's in 2 episodes
She had
of
more
called
of like
Power
a,
Play.
70s haircut back then.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think it was season 2, or maybe even 3. I'm not positive. I think it was
Okay.
3.
I think it was three. I
It
think
was
he
in
shows
the
up in three.
Who Shot JR. Yeah,
Speaking of
he's
haircut, it
part of
looks
that.
like I don't know if we mentioned this last time or if it even was a thing last time, but it looks like Cole got a haircut and I like it.
Cole got his hair did.
He doesn't have that
Yeah,
moppy 70s look anymore, so I like it.
yeah, he's so cute. I liked his old hair. I like the 70 do.
um a lot of things that happened, I was like, oh, we're here already. So I
Hmm.
remembered Angela basically trading for Joseph.
You know, didn't happen yet, but it's
And
coming.
like at first I was like, does she do it? I was like, she's not gonna do it. I'm like, she's not gonna sign away her son. And she did. I was like, you fucking bitch.
She did, but now she didn't do it easily. She did. She did. At first, she was like, "Hell no," and then
She
like when
didn't
she was
have
up,
to do it at all.
I know, but she's like Angela. That's what Angela said. She's like, "I see you and me," like, and
Well, she
that's
said
the whole reason.
she's like, if you really want to be the next Angela Channing, you'll sign these papers. I'm like, what?
Melissa, Melissa is ruthless in a way. Like she'll do what she has to do for Falcon Crest. I mean, she married in. She is dealing with her crazy mother-in-law who tried to kill, or did kill her dad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she's doing what she has to do to get Falcon Crest. So this might be an easier way to get it.
Philip keeps Philip keeps proposing to Angela, and she's just like, again.
I know,
I like
right?
I liked her little scene where she was like confiding in Chow Lee and he wasn't giving an opinion and she was like pressing him. She's like, "What do you think?" And he was like, "I don't trust him." And she's like, "Well, neither do I."
Exactly. Right.
What does that have to do with marriage?
Yeah.
And then
Philip's just trying.
the cuffling that she found really early on in the season came up, and I'm like, wow, they really dragged this out the whole season.
Yeah. I know
Um,
what Philip's doing. He's trying to like show he's as ruthless as Angela so they can be together. Like he's trying to win her over by being how she is,
but
kind
she
of.
kind of called him out on it. She's like, "You're like half working for Richard Channing. Of course, I don't trust you."
Right. I mean, yeah, but he's doing it for her best interests.
And then she actually shows him the cufflink, and he feigns like innocence. Like, how could you believe that? Like, she was a troublemaker.
Right.
He's like, if
Yeah.
you really believe that I would step out on you, then we don't have a relationship. I'm like, oh, shut up.
Yep. Yeah. Uh,
um. So, oh yeah, back to fuck Terry. She like tells
mm,
Michael that Chase hit on her, and that's why she left
mm,
the house, and she doesn't or was kicked out of the house.
yep.
And so now he's like, fuck Chase. And
But
getting
why is
him
she
switch
doing
over
why is she doing this though? She's
so
doing
she
it
can
for
have a place
Angela.
to stay.
Right. And for Angela. She thinks that
Yeah.
trying to turn Michael, so she's doing that for Angela, kind of.
So she
She doesn't
throws
realize she doesn't realize how much Angela's gonna get her in the end.
She throws like a
Oops.
dinner party or a cocktail party without him knowing at his own house,
Right.
bitch.
Just a few people. That house
Yeah.
is huge. It wasn't that big, I didn't think. And then it's like it looks like a hall almost.
Yeah. And then she is like practically all over Lance in front of everybody.
Yes, I know.
And I'm
Kissing
like,
them in the
does
living
Michael not
room
see
and
this? He's like literally there's like three people in between them. Like what?
oh right, right. Like, don't you think that might get you kicked out of the house? Like there's and Maggie and Chase are there. Like it's
Like are
very
they
bizarre.
still are Michael and her still hiding the fact that they are anything from everybody? Because remember he's like,
Uh,
I don't want anything serious or whatever. He was like kind of pushing her away.
I mean, maybe that could have been her excuse. Like if you got busted, she'd be like, oh, well, like maybe I don't know, because she doesn't get busted, unfortunately.
So it's at this party that Richard is like, fuck you, Melissa, you sold your grapes to Philip.
Yeah.
And she's like grasping for straws, so she's like, don't leave or whatever. And she's like, I'm having your baby. And he's like, that's impossible because I had a vasectomy. So I'm like, wow, everything's just coming out.
Yeah. These are some of the reasons I didn't like Richard. Because I liked Melissa, so I was kind of shitty. Like he basically used her for grapes. There are grapes.
What's his companion's name again?
Pamela,
She was wearing this really cute outfit. It was like
companion.
this black leather jacket, and she had this hat on in one scene, and I was like, she looks really cute.
She does. I like her style too. She's good 80s style.
Yeah. Um, there was a
Oh,
scene, I
and
think she was meeting Richard for dinner, and
right.
Terry sat with him, and she like got herself a drink, and Pam was like, move.
Yeah.
Because she lied, I think she lied and said that she was meeting Michael there, but I think she went there for Richard
Mm-hmm.
because she's playing everybody against the middle.
Yep.
Um, we're like really close to the end now, and I'm like, wow, it's almost bye bye, Michael.
So my one note is Pamela don't like hoes, and I think that was that scene when she when she talked to Terry because she doesn't like Melissa. She don't like she just gets a vibe. I don't think she's jealous of them. I just think she's like, and that's why she like says to him like, "What are you doing with these women? Like, why are you entertaining them? Like, you're too good for that." Like,
So back to this
Pamela doesn't understand.
cocktail party. Melissa's like rejected by Richard. Um,
Ah, this was kind of sad.
Lance is like all over Terry. So then she, of
Hmm.
course, directs her attention to Cole and is like, take me home. And she's like, gonna throw herself at him, probably. But Linda's like, I'll drive you home.
This is why I like Linda. Linda did grow on me the second time I watched because the first time I was very team Melissa and Cole, so I
Uh-huh.
was like, "Girl," like I was against Linda, but now I'm like, I get it. I got you, Linda. I got your back.
And I didn't remember this until they were in the car. This also felt like a Fallon moment from Dynasty, like how she used to just
Hmm.
drive off recklessly.
There's all there's always a road closing or a closed road, and you're like, oh, we know what's gonna happen.
Um,
Although that was Melissa's fault.
so they get into an accident, and
Because Melissa pushes her, remember? Because remember, I think Linda said something and like it pisses her off, and she pushes
but did she like
Linda.
grab the wheel or she just like pushed her?
No, she just like pushed her, and then Linda was like, ah, and then of course, went off into the closed road. That's where they go.
Um, Linda's the one that's unconscious, and Melissa's seemingly okay,
Mm.
but that's not necessarily
And
the case.
Melissa, did you notice Melissa actually cares? Like she's not a complete asshole. Like she didn't want her dead or anything because she was like Linda, like she was screaming, like she actually was worried about her. And then she like ran to the road like trying to get help. So
Yeah.
she's not I mean, she's an asshole in the sense, yeah, she doesn't really care about Linda, but she doesn't want her to die. So she's not that extreme. So it's nice. It's a nice moment for
Uh,
her.
mm, maybe not Linda
She
in
doesn't.
particular, but she was like trying to get Julia killed. So like, She has a
Well,
good.
Julia killed her dad, so that's a good reason for for wanting her dead.
It's a thin line.
Dude, if somebody killed your family, what would you
Okay,
want?
but two wrongs don't make a right.
I
Like,
mean,
I
you
understand the motive, but like, still.
know. I mean, I feel like I would feel a certain way if someone killed one of my family members.
Yeah, I can understand. I mean, I haven't been put in the
Right,
situation yet.
right. Hopefully you don't have
Hopefully, I
to
don't.
put in the situation yet.
um, so Melissa actually ends up losing the baby.
Yeah.
Um, I forgot what she said to Lance. Did she say, "I'm glad the baby's dead because it wasn't yours"?
No, because it was his. Because he pisses her off because he wasn't there for her,
Mm-hmm.
and he comes in trying to be there for her now, and she's not, she's obviously upset about the baby. She does not mean that, so she just says it to
To hurt him.
upset
She has that
him,
crazy look in her eyes, which we all know.
right? And she's like, "Yeah, I'm glad the baby's dead because it had your blood, or like it was yours." So,
Mhm.
and then it sends them out, and that's what makes him kind of go off on Richard in the last episode that we
I
see.
think this happened before the accident, but Linda's father is having what looks like
Mm.
physical therapy after a heart attack. I didn't know they did that, but okay.
Actually, my one note is asshole dad still being an asshole with
But he takes
because he's
Michael's advice and he actually makes up with Linda and hugs Cole. They
eventually.
had they had this nice heartwarming family moment, and Maggie and Chase were all like smiling and like the family's together.
It took another little time because in the first one, remember he was still like against it, like in the first episode. But I think it was when there was a reason they lost custody. That's when he kind of turned
Oh,
when
okay.
they lost custody of the baby, like of Joseph.
Okay.
So he remember then he got all nice. He was like, oh, he was there for them then, but you know, he's still an asshole in my book. But it was a nice moment, whatever.
Um So, why did Maggie go to see Terry? Was it because of the lie that Chase like
Yes.
hit on her?
Yes.
Because I remember when
Yeah.
she first heard it,
Mhm.
she was like, "This bitch!" Like, like she wanted to
Yeah.
fight her.
Yeah, she was
um,
pissed because, they're close, they're family. So, and they were, everything was fine. And then all of a sudden, Terry did that. So, yeah, she went to fight with her.
yeah. So she like they're arguing. Terry goes up the stairs. She follows her, and she ends up. I guess she ends up fainting and falling down the stairs.
Yeah, like
The
the
preview of
headache,
that
I
scene, it
guess.
looked like they made it seem like Terry pushed her, but I don't think that's what happened. I think she just
Mm-mm.
fainted.
No, again, this is a good Terry moment because she's a complete asshole for the most part. But when Maggie fell, she was definitely concerned. She does not want her sister to die. Like,
Yeah.
and you could tell in the look on her face.
Um, but then like the beginning of the next episode, um, when they show like what's gonna happen, they like spoil it, like because they show the scene of Maggie on the couch talking to Michael, and I'm like, you just ended with her passed out, and now you're showing us that she's awake, like and fine.
Right. Yeah, that's why I never like when they show like the previews of episodes. I
Yeah,
don't mind it, but they do give too much away sometimes.
right.
But I have in the one episode that we have, that power play one. Remember, I think Angie calls Joseph to sit on her lap, and he's like, "No."
And Melissa's like children's instinct or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yes. She's like, "Yeah, no, Joseph don't like you." That was funny. He's a good little actor, this kid. I don't know how they got him to do because I don't know how old he's. What is he, 2? I don't know, but it's convincing.
um, so Emma goes to visit Julia at the mental facility,
Mm,
and Lance goes with her,
yes.
and she's excited that she's going to be a grandmother. But Lance tells her what happened with the baby, and Emma tries to stop him. but she freaks out and she says that Angela took the baby.
Yep.
So
Yes.
now I'm like, I don't think she's faking this part. I think this is real.
No, this is real. Um,
Because she's
this
having
is
nightmares where she sees Angela everywhere.
yes. So this is where, yeah, that part of her kind of snaps. She's basically turned on her mother completely at this point. Um, and Richard, I think too. I think she doesn't like Richard either because of the shit that he pulled. But also, you're messing with a mental lady. So when Richard did that, they get what they get. So
I
he
think
he
when
screwed with her.
Angela came to visit her and she started quoting like literature like she did with
Yes.
Richard, and Angela wasn't playing along.
Nope. She's like, you don't know it, do you? This is the stuff that I love about Julia because she's like a smart, insane person, which is like scary because look what she did, in the last episode. Like, it's really fun.
um so when she's in line, I don't know what they were doing, if they were taking them to eat or to shower, but she kind of snuck off and broke into like a cabinet and it looked like she stole towels.
Yes. No. I think she stole like a uniform or something.
Oh, okay.
I
I
think
wasn't
because I don't
I
think.
wasn't sure what she took. I was like, what is she doing?
Yeah, she's setting it. This is how she's smart. She's setting it up. It's like she's preparing because she's knows she's gonna get out of here one way or another.
And she
I
does.
love it.
And that's why I was like,
And
"Oh, we're
she
here."
does.
Because I remember this. I remember the brown wig. Doesn't she have a
Yes.
brown wig?
She does. Well, I think she dyes her hair.
Oh, okay.
She,
But
as
it's
right,
probably a
remember.
wig.
So, yeah, is that? I'm trying to think. There was nothing else that happened in the other. Um, oh, Julia cuts her hair in the aftermath episode. Oh no, in Test of Faith, she cuts her hair and prepares to. She makes herself look like that one nurse,
Hmm.
which is smart. Like I never would have thought of that. Like. Yeah, so she does that and she steals her clothes and she's preparing. And I don't know if she took her ID. I forget because remember she put her gum in the locker so
Yes.
she could get in that locker. Because I maybe that's why she did what she did. Like maybe she stole that to like see if she'd get busted.
Hmm.
And since she didn't, she's like, okay, they didn't notice. So now I'm gonna try this. Maybe it was that type because I don't think she ever did anything with that other whatever she took. I think she was just testing it.
Hmm.
That would make sense. She's smart. She's a smart, insane woman.
Richard, I think officially opened the racetrack.
Is it open yet?
Isn't that what that big speech was that he was making and how
Oh,
it was
I don't.
linked to Falcon Crest?
I don't think it's open yet, but it's opening. I think very
Oh,
soon. I think
okay.
because we didn't see anybody there yet, so I'm guessing.
Maybe it was just an announcement that it was coming soon.
Yeah, I think so because I think they have like a big opening for it. Like
Okay.
everybody's there and all that stuff, like a cocktail party of some sort. Yeah.
And the big cliffhanger is the reason why Maggie's having this dizzy spells and why she passed out is because she
Oh,
has a brain tumor and it's inoperable. And I'm like, son of a bitch with these brain tumors, because we're dealing with this on General Hospital now in 1993. And
I
now
know.
this.
I know. I thought the same thing because I just watched that episode last night, and I was like, no.
I was like, another one?
But what's funny is like we know the outcome for this one. So how come Dominique is dead,
I don't remember. I don't
but Maggie
I guess we'll
isn't?
find out. Don't answer because but I don't remember how we resolve
I
this. If she like
honestly
has the
forget.
operation anyway.
I
I mean,
honestly
obviously
forget.
she makes it because I've watched season 7 and she's still on, but still.
Yeah. I forget how she gets out of this pickle, but I I guess it ends up being operable or it's not a
Misdiagnosed or
tumor.
something.
So Michael just gave her like a death wish, even though it's not true. I don't know, but I'm excited to see how she
Maybe
gets
they
out of
fly
it.
in some doctor from like a different country to help. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I'm trying to I wonder if this like holds her back from well, we'll talk about it later because in the finale it might hold her back from going to like in that plane. I forget.
Mhm.
There's a reason why, I guess they wrote it in to not have her go or something. So when Emma ran that article, Richard seems to think it's his death warrant because of the cartel
Mhm.
being up his ass. And the cartel is not happy because Spheris does pay him a visit and like kind of goes off on him, and he's like, um, I didn't like when Lance went to kick Richard's ass, and he did. Remember, Richard had a gun. He got the
Mhm.
gun away from him in the last episode and all that. I'm like, of course Richard needs a fucking army, and then he's the man. I'm like, that's why I can't stand Richard. Like, you motherfucker. Because he's like tries to turn the table. Like Lance was just making a point and was gonna leave. He like kicked his ass and was gonna leave. And then those cops come or whatever and back up Richard, and then Richard gets all threatening. I'm like, you're such a puss, dude. I hate
It's so
that.
funny how much you don't like Richard, and I do.
Well, it's annoying to me because I'm like, Lance wanted to fight like a man. Like he wanted to be like, let's fight, like fight it out, and it would have been fine. You know how like they like to get it out on these soaps, and then they're fine.
Mhm.
But Richard just had to be like stupid about it and be like whatever and have a team behind him. Meh, whatever. And I'm usually not for Lance either. So, but I was in this situation because it wasn't fair.
Okay.
Richard tried to pull a gun on him, and then he, got rid of the gun, and then there's all those people were up his butt. I'm like, whatever, dude. Um, oh, Melissa blames Linda for the accident. I think that has a little bit of a ripple effect in the next few episodes. Yeah, Julia tells her psychiatrist that Angie's trying to kill her, and accuses him of working for Angie. So that's the part that's definitely, toward the finale. So in her head, that's why she's getting out, and she's very against Angela, Philip, and Richard, and Chase and Maggie. So she hates everybody right now, and she's insane. So
I don't remember
bad
how
shit.
Julia gets her head right.
Told you, like, when you kill people, that's why the writing for Julie is really good because she lasts a couple more seasons because this is her comeuppance for killing those people. So it is, yeah, Jacqueline was dying, but she still killed her. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Angela got that hooker from Terry's past.
Right. And
Yes.
she tried to make some moves on Michael, right? Because of Angela.
Uh-huh. Yes.
And now he knows about her past.
She had Terry's little black book of all those men's numbers and what their specialties were.
Right.
I was like, oh girl. And that actress, I don't know if you know her, Claudia Christian is her name. She was in an episode of Dallas. She did that a short-lived soap called Berringers, and she was also one of I think she was a captain in Babylon 5, one of the Star Trek spin-offs.
um
Um, so I
I
know she's
probably
big
saw her
in
in
Star Trek
Dallas. That's the
movies.
only thing I out of everything you listed I would have seen.
Yeah, she was only in one episode of Dallas. I don't remember her even in that, and I watched it currently, so I don't even know if she was in that one, but I
Right.
know she's known for Babylon 5. She's in a lot of other stuff. If you look her up, you would know her from some other things. But oh, and Spheris takes Pamela. They put her in like a meat locker with
Mhm.
that's why she's cold later. Remember, he's like, "Oh, you're cold." She was I was just in a meat locker, but like she can't say anything because they threaten her and they
Uh-huh.
want her to bug Richard's phone. So she has to be evil now, unfortunately.
And
Because I
play
feel
both
like
sides.
she's the level-headed one. That's why she kind of keeps Richard in line, I feel like. Um, but unfortunately now she has to turn against him. Not her fault. She doesn't want to die. So what are you gonna do?
For now, dot dot dot. Am I remembering correctly? Does she eventually tell him what's going on?
He either catches her, well, I don't remember exactly, but I don't think it's this season. I feel like it happens maybe next
Maybe.
because she does hang around for a while.
Yeah. Hmm.
Even in the credits next season. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think that might be all I have. But yeah, that was a good episode on Tests of Faith because that's when Julia escaped too. Good
Yeah, I
stuff
really like
coming.
this. I really like this season. And I know I probably
Yeah,
and I
it's
know,
good.
like I said, I say that every season because I just feel like it gets better and better.
It does. And Julie, I feel like Julia, her storyline alone, like everything that she does happens in like every soap opera. I don't want to talk about stuff yet that that we know is coming, but
Right.
that's all I have.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us for another edition of Don't Touch My Grapes. As always, you can find us on all the socials at Queers and Soaps, and be sure to check out our Patreon for exclusive content where we watch daytime soaps and some primetime soaps. Until next time, have a great night. Bye.
Now, yeah.